What if I told you some of the best queer stories ever told aren't in the movies, they're on your TV? Seriously, while Hollywood gives us 2 hours to fall in love with a character, these shows gave us seasons. And honestly, they hit harder. Here are 12 gay TV shows that are straight up better than the movies. Number 12, Merli, Sapere, Aude.
Jo entenc que representa que hem de ser el màxim de feliços possible i que s'ha de gaudir de moments com aquest.
We're kicking things off with a Spanish gem most people haven't even heard of, Merli. Sapere Aude is a spin-off of the hit Spanish series Merli, and it follows Paul Rubio, a former student who's now studying philosophy at university in Barcelona. But this isn't just a classroom drama. Paul is trying to figure out who he is, academically, personally, and sexually. He begins a complicated relationship with a male professor named Bruno, and what follows is this intense, messy, beautifully written journey of self-discovery. Paul isn't sure of his sexuality at the start, and the show doesn't rush him into a box. He experiments, he questions, he struggles, and the people around him react in all kinds of ways, some supportive, some not. Meanwhile, you've got friendships falling apart, rivalries heating up, and philosophy lectures that actually tie into the emotional chaos of Paul's life. It's smart, it's sexy, and it treats queer identity with the kind of nuance you rarely see on screen. If you love slow-burn character studies with real emotional weight, this one's for you. Number 11, Our Flag Means Death.
You know Blackbeard's gonna murder you.
What? No, why would he do that?
You dumped him.
I didn't dump him.
He dumped you.
No, we're on a break.
Now here's a show that had absolutely no business being as good as it was. Our Flag Means Death is loosely based on the true story of Stede Bonnet, a wealthy aristocrat who abandoned his privileged life to become a pirate. And he was terrible at it. Stede, played by Rhys Darby, is soft, overly polite, and completely out of his depth on the open seas. His crew doesn't respect him, other pirates mock him, and he has no idea what he's doing. But then he crosses paths with the legendary Blackbeard, played by Taika Waititi, and everything changes. What starts as an unlikely friendship slowly transforms into one of the most tender and unexpected love stories you'll ever see. Blackbeard is feared by everyone, but around Stede, he starts to let his guard down. Stede, in turn, finally finds someone who sees him for who he really is. Their romance builds beautifully across the first season, from quiet glances to full-blown vulnerability. The show also gives us a crew full of queer and non-binary characters, each with their own stories and quirks. It's funny, it's heartfelt, and it proves that a pirate comedy can also make you cry. Number 10, Cucumber.
I hate gay men. Why are we even going? I hate them all.
They're gonna be all like, oh hi, oh hi.
Created by Russell T. Davies, Cucumber follows Henry Best, a middle-aged gay man living in Manchester whose long-term relationship with his partner Lance falls apart after a disastrous sexual encounter. And when I say disastrous, I mean the kind that changes everything in a single night. After the breakup, Henry moves into a shared house with younger guys and tries to navigate the modern gay dating scene, which is a whole different world from what he's used to. He's dealing with hookup apps, generational gaps, and the terrifying realization that he might have spent years in a relationship that was never quite right. The show doesn't shy away from the uncomfortable stuff: sexual dysfunction, loneliness, jealousy, and what happens when you've built your entire identity around a relationship that suddenly doesn't exist anymore. It's raw, it's brutally honest, and Russell T. Davies writes gay men with a specificity that most writers can't even come close to. Number 9, Smiley.
Es que es un insulto que existan caras así.
¿Tú a qué gimnasio vas? No, es que yo voy al Metropolitan, pero ahora me acabo de apuntar también al Club Natació Barceloneta por las piscinas.
¿Vas a 2 gimnasios?
Los domingos descanso.
Switching gears to something lighter, Smiley is a Spanish romantic comedy series set in Barcelona that follows 2 very different men who connect through a wrong number phone call. Alex is an architect, a bit uptight, cautious, and recovering from a bad breakup. Bruno is a bartender, warm, spontaneous, and the kind of guy who talks to strangers. When Bruno accidentally calls Alex's number trying to reach someone else, there's an instant spark. What follows is a charming, feel-good love story about 2 people slowly letting their walls down. But it's not just about Alex and Bruno. The show also follows their group of friends, each dealing with their own relationship dramas, dating disasters, and personal struggles. There's a throuple navigating jealousy, a couple dealing with an open relationship, and a drag queen figuring out what love looks like for her. It's warm, it's funny, and it's like a big queer hug. If you've ever wished there were more gay rom-coms that actually feel joyful, this is the one. Number 8, Eastsiders.
Life is not a gay porn, okay?
I could make dinner and you guys could blow me.
Are you making fun of my underwear?
Eastsiders started as a tiny web series and grew into a full-blown drama that ran for 4 seasons. It follows Cal and Tom, a gay couple, living in Silver Lake, Los Angeles, whose relationship implodes when Cal discovers Tom has been cheating on him. But instead of just breaking up, they try to work through it, and that's where things get complicated. There's therapy, there's fighting, there's sleeping with other people, and there are moments where you genuinely don't know if they should stay together or walk away. Over the course of the series, the show expands to include their circle of friends, a lesbian couple dealing with their own trust issues, a newly out friend navigating the dating scene, and various characters whose lives intersect in messy, realistic ways. Season 3 takes the cast on a road trip through Europe, and Season 4 brings everything full circle. What makes Eastsiders special is how unglamorous and honest it is. These aren't idealized versions of gay relationships. They're complicated, flawed people trying to figure out love in real time. And hey, if you're loving this list, hit that join button and become part of the PrideFlix family. It means the world to us, and it helps us keep making content like this. Number 7, Please Like Me.
Intimidated by like a blank, judgmental face.
Oh, so you guys just want one?
No.
Please Like Me is an Australian comedy drama created by and starring Josh Thomas, and it's based loosely on his real life. The show begins with Josh getting dumped by his girlfriend, who tells him she thinks he's gay, and honestly, she's right. From there, Josh starts figuring out dating men for the first time, while simultaneously dealing with his mother's hospitalization for a suicide attempt. And somehow, the show balances both of those things with grace, humor, and real emotional depth. Josh's relationships with men are awkward, sweet, and painfully relatable. His friendship dynamics shift as he comes out. His family is loving but messy. His parents are divorced. His dad is well-meaning but clueless. And his mom is battling serious mental health issues. The show also features some genuinely beautiful cooking scenes and some of the most natural-feeling dialogue you'll ever hear on television. It's the kind of show that makes you laugh and then quietly devastates you in the same episode. Number 6, Young Royals.
Jag vet inte hur jag ska bete mig, jag vet inte hur jag ska känna liksom.
Young Royals is a Swedish drama that follows Prince Wilhelm, a young royal who gets sent to a prestigious boarding school called Hillerska after a public scandal. He's expected to fall in line, behave himself, and uphold the image of the crown. But then he meets Simon, a scholarship student from a nearby town, and everything changes. Wilhelm and Simon's relationship develops beautifully, from stolen glances in hallways to secret meetings to a full-blown romance that Wilhelm is terrified to make public. Because being a gay prince isn't just a personal matter, it's a political one. The royal court, the media, and his own family all have opinions about who he should be and who he should love. Season 2 deals with the fallout of a secretly recorded intimate video being leaked and the betrayal and pain that follows. Season 3 brings the story to a close as Wilhelm is forced to decide between the crown and the boy he loves. It's intense, romantic, and emotionally devastating, especially that final season. If you haven't watched it yet, cancel your plans. Number 5, Heartstopper.
Charlie's my boyfriend. I still like girls, but I like boys too.
Based on Alice Oseman's graphic novels, Heartstopper is the sweetest, most wholesome queer love story on television right now. It follows Charlie Spring, an openly gay schoolboy, and Nick Nelson, a popular rugby player, as they go from classmates to friends to something much more. The first season is pure butterflies. Nick slowly realizing he has feelings for Charlie, their first handhold, their first kiss, and Nick's journey of figuring out that he's bisexual. It's gentle, it's affirming, and it's the kind of representation that would have changed lives if it had existed 20 years ago. But the show doesn't stay in a bubble of sweetness. Season 2 introduces more complex storylines. Charlie's struggles with an eating disorder and mental health, Nick learning how to support someone he loves through something he doesn't fully understand, and their wider friend group navigating their own identities and relationships. It's the kind of show that makes you feel hopeful about the world, even when it's tackling genuinely painful subject matter. Number 4, Looking.
Sometimes you gotta leave things behind so you can move forward.
Looking was HBO's quietly brilliant drama about 3 gay friends living in San Francisco. Patrick is a video game designer who's hopelessly romantic, Agustin is an artist who's a bit of a mess, and Dom is an older guy trying to reinvent himself and open a restaurant. The show follows their dating lives, career struggles, and friendships in what feels like real time. Patrick bounces between a sweet barber named Richie and his complicated, magnetic boss Kevin, and both relationships feel achingly real. Agustin self-destructs his relationship and spirals. Dom fights against the feeling that his best years are behind him. What made Looking controversial when it first aired was that some people found it boring, but that was the point. It wasn't trying to be dramatic or flashy, it was trying to capture what gay life actually feels like on a Tuesday afternoon. The conversations, the insecurities, the quiet moments. The show was canceled after 2 seasons, but got a wrap-up movie that gave the characters and the audience proper closure. Number 3, It's a Sin.
Richard, what's wrong with you?
I've got AIDS. I'm gay.
It's a Sin is Russell T. Davies' masterpiece. Set in London in the 1980s, it follows a group of young gay men, Richie, Roscoe, Colin, Ash, and their fierce best friend Jill, as they move to the city to chase their dreams, just as the AIDS crisis begins to unfold. At first, life is electric. They're going to clubs, falling in love, performing, and living freely in a way they never could back home. But slowly, the disease starts to creep in. Friends get sick, rumors spread. The government ignores them. Families reject their sons. Richie is a charismatic, aspiring actor who refuses to believe AIDS is real, and his denial has devastating consequences. Colin is a sweet, quiet Welsh boy who's the first to get sick. Roscoe is bold and unapologetic, but carries his own pain. And Jill becomes the emotional backbone of the group, fighting for her friends when no one else will. The final episode is one of the most emotionally shattering hours of television ever made. It will wreck you. Number 2, Queer as Folk.
Sonny boy, be sure to come home right after school. No lingering on the playground or in the locker room with your gym teacher.
When can I see you again?
Better go.
Before most of these shows existed, Queer as Folk was kicking down doors. The American version, based on the British original, follows a group of gay men and a lesbian couple living in Pittsburgh, and it held absolutely nothing back. Brian Kinney is the unapologetic, sexually liberated center of the show, a man who refuses to conform to anyone's expectations. Michael is his best friend, sweet and loyal, but always living in Brian's shadow. Justin is a teenager who falls hard for Brian on his very first night out at a club, and their on-again, off-again relationship became one of the most iconic in queer TV history. The show tackled everything: coming out, homophobia, gay bashing, drug use, HIV, same-sex parenting, and political activism. It showed gay sex explicitly and unapologetically at a time when most shows wouldn't even let 2 men kiss. Over 5 seasons, these characters grew, fought, loved, and changed, and the show paved the way for virtually everything on this list. It's messy, it's provocative, and it's essential viewing. Number 1, Fellow Travelers.
Have you ever had inappropriate physical contact with another man?
No. Such a damn good liar.
Topping our list is Fellow Travelers, a sweeping political love story that spans 4 decades, from the McCarthy era of the 1950s to the AIDS crisis of the 1980s. Matt Bomer plays Hawkins Fuller, a handsome, politically connected State Department official who is charming, ambitious, and deeply closeted. Jonathan Bailey plays Tim Laughlin, an idealistic young man who arrives in Washington full of faith in God, in his country, and in the goodness of people. When they meet, the attraction is immediate and intense. But this is 1950s America, where being gay can end your career or your life. Hawk and Tim begin a secret affair that is passionate and all-consuming, but Hawk's survival instinct means he keeps Tim at arm's length emotionally even as he pulls him close physically. Tim wants love, commitment, and honesty. Hawk wants to protect himself and Tim by keeping everything hidden. The show moves through the decades, the political paranoia of the 50s, the liberation movements of the 60s and 70s, and the devastation of the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. Through it all, Hawk and Tim keep finding their way back to each other, even when the world and their own fears keep pulling them apart. The performances are extraordinary, the chemistry is electric, and the final episodes will leave you completely gutted. It's the kind of show that stays with you long after the credits roll. So there you have it, 12 gay TV shows that prove sometimes the small screen does it bigger and better. Let us know in the comments which one's your favorite, and if we missed any, drop those recommendations too. Until next time, stay proud.